All right, here we go. So, title of my talk today is More Pain, More Gain. All right, and this is an incredibly creative take on no pain, no gain. So you're sitting with a creative master, just changed it up a little bit. And I want to start out by just making this public statement. I hate crying. And I love Sharon because Sharon doesn't cry. She cried one time, and cried one time because she wanted to spend more time with the elderly. She used to play piano for the elderly, and I needed her to do more of her job. So God forbid she was volunteering or something with the elderly, which we want to do. But anyway, so she cried so she could not do as much work. And speaking of pain, Julio, he has missed pretty much the whole year thus far because he's been pretending about his back injury that I'm not really sure he has, but it's working for him. This is really one of the only days he's been in the office this year. And trying to think who else I could. Derek doesn't cry much either. The only time Derek cries is for Jesus, which is allowed. And Britt, well, you're a Texan, so I don't want to do anything to offend you, or you'll shoot me, which is fine. All that to say, I don't like crying. If it's a Jesus cry, I'm good with it. Everything else, we had this quasi HR person who lasted for 2 months. We don't really do HR because we like to say things that I just said. Nonetheless, we do have a few policies. There's something up at our, in our doors that say something that is legally binding. So all that to say, this individual had this rule. And he said, if you start to cry, you have to leave the office. Come back after you collect yourself. And I felt okay with it because he was the HR person. And so now, whether that's good or not, it's now my new policy. So just so you know, if you cry, you have to leave the office, and then you can come back in. But I think the point he was making is look, I don't mind you crying. Sometimes the things we talk about are going to elicit emotions and tears, but you got to collect yourself so that you can think clearly, because the tears are coming from something. Yeah. And I want to help frame us a little bit today around pain. More pain, more gain. Pain is our friend. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants the pain, but everybody wants the gain. Okay. But with leadership, if you don't experience leadership pain, you will never elevate. Pain is the grand master of leadership growth. There's two kinds of pain. There's manageable pain. And manageable pain would be like a bruised leg, a high school breakup. Manageable pain is when I give Derek a hard time later because he's not taking notes. Okay. It's all in his head. He's a creative. So manageable pain, right? You break up with somebody in high school. You're going to get over that. You bruise your leg. You're going to get over that. Debilitating pain is the second kind of pain. It's a broken leg. Now you have to adjust how you move. It's an adult divorce, right? It's something traumatic. Manageable pain, debilitating pain. Okay, which one takes more? Somebody tell me.
Debilitating pain.
Debilitating pain takes more, but which one gives more? Debilitating pain. The problem is some people never recover from debilitating pain, or they're deeply afraid of being in pain, so they never take the risks associated with potentially experiencing pain. So as a leader, you should take steps towards positioning yourself for potential debilitating pain. You're going to have natural discomfort, okay? Some of that's normal. If you can't handle a little discomfort, like you don't belong in the leadership game. But the higher you go, or the higher you want to go, you have to understand that debilitating pain, a broken leg, a broken heart, something not working out, a major misstep, it's very possible. Sacrifice, it's possible. The people who are strong, just like with a broken leg, when it's treated properly, it becomes stronger. Somebody who goes through a divorce, painful divorce, but they go and get the help they need, they recover, oftentimes they come back stronger. People, when they get hurt, they either get bitter or they get better, right? And so leaders who become great find a way to overcome the potential bitterness, pain, unforgiveness, frustration, and they somehow come back stronger and better.
That's good.
That's why we're saying more pain, more gain. So I want to talk about today how we leverage leadership pain. And I'm going to give you these pretty quick. There's 7 items, but I'm going to give them to you quick. Here's the first one. You have to determine your pain points. So you got to clarify. If you need money, the pain point is raise it. If you are in debt, well, the pain point now is, both are pain points, but like the leadership pain comes when you got to work another shift, not spend where you used to, get a second job, right? You want more income? Well, you have to take the pain of investing and potentially losing. You want to take on a big project? Well, you have to take on the leadership pain of garnering the support and starting it, and all that goes into garnering the support and starting it, and the rejection. You have weak or vacant staff. I'm just touching you because I love you. Right? You gotta then train. You might have to outside hire. You might have to develop. All those are pain points. You have weak teams. You got to recruit. You got to train. You got to set in policy. You got to think. You got to redistribute and work on culture. Are you growing? Even growth has pains. Well, now I need a facility. Now I need another service. Right. Every next level has pain associated with it. And there's a meme, or not a meme, but really like a statement going around: choose your heart. Being poor is hard. Being rich is hard. Choose your heart. Which one do you want? There's pain associated with it, but getting to that next level, it might be debilitating. Are you going to come back stronger? So determine your pain points. Number 2, you got to learn to dance with pain in seasons. Dance with pain in seasons. What I mean by that is it's kind of the old adage. How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. You didn't know that one? Gen Z is really up on the so like there are some things in your life, in your work, in your ministry, in your company, whatever it is, that it's a big elephant. You're gonna have to dance with that pain in seasons. You can't fix all your culture in 1 week. You can't make all your hires in 1 year. You can't, fix all your money issues. Sometimes it takes 2 years to get out of debt. So you've got to basically, in a sense, charge the hill, pause, recalibrate, charge the hill. You can't do it all at once. And so when I say dance with pain in seasons, you cannot live in a constant state of war. You may be made for war, okay? I'm a street fighter, okay? But even I gotta go back and have some water, and sometimes I just can't fight.
Right.
And so you gotta dance with pain in seasons. You gotta know when to hold them and fold them. Right? But you got to know, like, okay, now we're taking on this big project, this element of pain, and it's based on your capacity. Now, here's the trick, okay? In one season, you can handle this much pain, okay, this project, but hey, my capacity, my ability to handle this, I can't do that right now. But as I've grown as a leader, and as I've learned to understand pain, I know I can take on this, I can handle this pain, but I'm going to hold off on this because this would destroy my marriage, or or my spouse can't handle this much pain right now, or my kids can't handle this much. But the stronger you get, the more you can shoulder. Pain is good for you. Here's the third one. Count the cost and expect it. Count the cost and expect it. Now, I want to be clear. Don't do stupid things just for pain's sake. Some people are literally like experts at that. Okay. But you got to understand that pain will be a part of it, and you got to gear up for the season. You cannot grow without it. So this really is all about expectations. Don't say you want to be great and you want to elevate, but expect that it will be easy and expect that there won't be great pain.
It's true.
If you go into something and you're blindsided by pain, that's your fault. And that's when people quit. And you know, any sort of Navy SEAL or any sort of whatever, they know that what they're about to do is going to be so excruciating, but their brain, their mind, their spirit is on the other side. And what you have to keep beholding is there is a victory on the other side of this. And I'm not holding on to, in my view, rest and vacation. I'm holding in my view winning and victory.
It's true.
That is a much better sight to behold. Elevation than I need a break. If your sight is I need a break and vacation, you're not going to make it, because you actually have to take breaks and vacation in the midst of sometimes the painful seasons. Number 4, you got to learn to mitigate what the pain magnifies. Or let me say it differently, mitigate what magnifies the pain. What I mean by that is if you're doing a project and you're managing a project, if you're not very administrative, your first avenue of help should be get myself some administrative support. You have to mitigate the things that are going to make the pain even feel like hell. It's like, all right, I can hang on the outskirts of hell in this season, but if I'm like literally in fire because I'm doing certain things that are going to take me over the edge, I got to look to mitigate some of it.
Right.
You can't get out of all of it, but you got to mitigate some of it. So if you're dealing with hurtful people or a staff scenario, maybe you've got to mitigate that by getting a professional or an ally to support you. If you don't have enough money, develop your skills by recruiting some people to help support it, or hire a company. For our campaign, we didn't know what we were doing. We knew it would be painful, but we needed a guide. So we hired a company to help us. You got to mitigate what will make it unbearable and unmanageable. Number 5, you got to, in painful seasons, how do we leverage pain? We have to medicate with oversight. So when you're in pain, medication's not wrong. You just have to medicate with oversight, okay? Otherwise, you got back pain, well, you're going to get addicted to narcotics if you don't have somebody saying, that's enough.
True.
And so you have to hobby, you have to Sabbath, you have to play in painful seasons and in cruising seasons. But pain does call for medication, so do it with oversight so that you don't abuse food, drink, play, hobbies, have a moral failure. In the midst of pursuing your goals and elevating, rising, and you know that it's going to be a painful season, you have to still find time to play. You just can't abuse it, because what happens is when the pain is great, our natural tendency is to self-preserve and overdo what is medicating us. Number 6, pay attention to what pain teaches. Many people go through leadership pain or life pain, but never pay attention enough to learn and grow from it. Don't make the same mistake twice. It means you didn't learn. You will gain confidence and strength in painful seasons and scenarios. Learn from it. When you begin to feel that stretch, that leadership pain, you have to journal it. You have to document it. God, this moment, pain is trying to teach me something.
Yeah.
You got to learn from it. Now, you won't have the full revelation until you get to the other side. And you won't have the full confidence and strength and pleasure and pride in yourself until you finish the job. But you've got to document along the way, because it will help put the puzzle pieces together.
Yeah.
Last one. How do you leverage pain? You got to try something crazier the next time. Right? You got to prove to yourself you grew. You got to get back out there and date again. You got to try to raise more money the next time. You got to deal with people differently the next time. You got to take another hill. You got to put your foot on the gas again. The best indicator that you've been strengthened from pain is that you do it again. And you do it better.
Yeah.
Not the same mistakes, not maybe the same thing unless you didn't graduate from it. But man, go take another hill.
Yeah.
Take on something else and see that you've grown. Okay? More pain, more gain.
That's good.
Good stuff.